they're going to open the textbook and there's going to be a chapter about this probably, and they're going to get to come home and be like, "Oh my God, what
Mm-hmm.
did you do? Everybody had to wear masks. Oh
That's
my
when
God."
that's when you like tell them like some gritty ass story that never even happened.
Yeah, I had to trash some people at the store. They was trying to take my toilet paper. You know what I mean?
This is how like
Last roll.
our elders like I had to walk 5 miles to school barefoot in the snow. We're gonna be like, yo, I had to fist fight 30 people for a roll of toilet paper, man.
What is up, everybody? We're back with episode 2 of the Serozonin podcast. I'm here with my boy Cheeto Burrito, aka Tetsuothezombie. A little bit of, I guess, like positive critiques that I got, or not positive critiques, but like, what the fuck's it
Well, that's
called?
positive because it's letting you figure out what you can do better.
So something that I basically
Criticism.
just, yeah, thank you. Something that I kind of missed out on was kind of given like a brief explanation of like what this is going to be. And basically I wanted to put out some kind of content that was a constant. And something that I struggle with is putting out things because I feel like it's never like good enough. So this is something that I really want to do. It's going to be based off of like just conversations, like deeper layer conversations with everybody, anybody that wants to pop on, and uh, questions and truthful answers. Basically, I'm trying to have really good conversations with really good people about topics that maybe everybody isn't comfortable with. And sometimes, we are going to get a little bit off topic. It's not going to all be, peace, love, and positivity and shit like that. There's going to be some humor in it, some dark humor, some comedy stuff. It might get off topic, but the base principle of this is just going to be like focusing on mental, not even necessarily your mental well-being and health, but like everything kind of like put together into one. It's not just mental health. It's making sure everything in your head is just good. I think what I really want to talk about is something that I've been coming out of recently. For our first topic is like weird funks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I definitely find myself like in these really weird, like positive moods, and I get these like really crazy highs, and I want to get all this shit accomplished and all this stuff, and then
I'm
all of a
trying to do
sudden,
this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that. And then it's like,
boom,
boom.
yeah, crash and burn. So you're somebody that I've went to when I'm feeling like really down, because I know for a fact that you're somebody that can relate to a lot of that like darker side of mental health and everything like that. So I was curious how you personally, any tips, tricks, how you deal with these funks, like, you know what I mean?
Honestly, whenever I'm in a funk like that, it's like I just try to like center myself and then think like, all right, today might suck, but there's always tomorrow. Like that's literally how I've been living. It's just like look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Like I know it's such like a cliche saying, like just look forward to tomorrow. But like it's literally the best thing you can do because there's nothing you can do in the moment, like that I know of at least, that can get you out of those type of funks because sometimes there really isn't anything you can do. It's just one of those waves you have to ride. So like whenever I'm in those waves, sometimes those last for a few days for me. Um, sometimes it's like it's draining and like, but like you just really have to look forward to the next day. Like, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep. When I wake up, maybe tomorrow will be better. That's just the way I look at it.
So something that you really try and like push on yourself when you're in those situations is just like reinforcing positive thoughts of tomorrow's another day, like
Yep.
reminding yourself that not not everything lasts forever. I mean, some shit
Mm-hmm.
does, like like
Yeah.
taxes and all that kind of shit, but but
Yep.
um so I recently was in one of them really weird places where it's just like you feel all burnout and shit like that. And that's something that I really tried to do, is when I'm in those places, like I'll be in there for, I don't know, like weird, like sometimes it'll be 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes it'll be an hour, sometimes it'll be a day, sometimes it'll be a week. But a lot of times when I am able to get myself out of those functions, it's very, very similar to your answer. is you just got to really, and as stupid as it sounds, you know what I mean? You really got to
Yeah.
reinforce that in your head, because when you're thinking in your head, it's not always rational. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
you really, like, when you're in those moments, you're like, yo, this shit is never going to fucking end.
You
And
always look at the worst or the best. It's like almost no middle ground usually.
yeah, like how can I rationalize something that's so irrational that it's like I know that it's not gonna fucking last forever. Like I really do know that, but it's just like in the moment, like, ah!
Right.
So that was something that like I just wanted to jump off the rip with that, because it's something that was on my head today when I was at work and shit like that, and I want to just a
Yeah, because
little.
sometimes like people won't notice it, but like I remember one instance I was out with my brother. We're just having like just like a dinner, just out eating, whatever, just having a good time. And like out of nowhere, it just like smacked me. And like some of those times it's like you can't hide it. It's like I become almost like a shell of myself. Like I become just like it's almost like I have no emotion at those times. And like I become like kind of like gray. Um
Is
and
it
it's like
more like
sometimes
like do you get like kind of like weird like social anxiety quirks kind of, you know what I mean, when you're out in
no,
public? Is
it's
that
not
what it
even
is?
that. Like it's just like because it can happen at any time. Like those like it's I want to say it's more so just depression. Um it's just like I could be having the best time. I could be around a bunch of good people. I could be doing something fun, and then out of nowhere, it'll just hit me, just like boom. It's like I almost feel nothing. Like I don't feel anxious. I don't feel happy. I don't feel sad. I don't feel mad. I literally just feel nothing. It's almost like a numb kind of feeling, and it's
Kind of
weird
like
because it's
that
like,
dark cloud like
yeah.
lingering over your head type mood. Yeah, okay.
Mhm. So like those times, it's kind of hard to hide it because like when you're anxious, you can hide it. When you're mad, you can hide it. When you're happy, but like you don't want to show other people you're happy. I don't know why you would, but like just for example wise, like it's easy to hide those emotions. But like when you have zero like emotions, like you feel nothing, you can't hide that. Like immediately when it hit me, everybody looked at me like, "What's up with you?" I'm just like, I don't know. I get like this sometimes. Just don't
No,
mind me.
just
Just
but
don't
I
mind me.
think
I'm
it's
I'm here.
it's super important because I feel like that's not something that is talked about. Like nobody's gonna come out and just be like, yo, I just kind of randomly feel weird. Sorry if I bring down your mood sometimes, but I
Hmm.
promise you I'll be fine in like 15, 20 minutes. And like you speaking on that, like really, I don't know, it kind of made me not like, I'm not like happy that it happens to you, but I'm happy you
Hmm.
brought it up because that was one of the biggest things I wanted to do with these episodes and these podcasts is like, I want to be able to talk about like these kind of things without it being like the dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like
Yeah.
have a
Hmm.
bring it to the table as a conversation, and that way when shit like that does happen, it's like people understand like this is how people are. Not everything's
Yeah.
fucking sunshine and rainbows for everybody. Not everybody can be happy as shit all the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Like people need to feel like they're not alone anymore because like everybody tries to paint the perfect picture for themselves and like show it to everybody, but that picture isn't always perfect. There's always imperfections in art. And you can look at life as an art piece and like you can try to say like, oh, this is the best painting, but like an expert will look at it and be like, yo, this shit all types of fucked up. You got all kinds of shit up in here, man. But like people need to realize like we can all be in this together. Like we can all talk. We can have, and especially like a platform like this, people could come in and like express themselves, and then other people could see like, hey, damn, that person's going through the same thing as me. Maybe I shouldn't just like feel like I'm the only one here or like I'm alone or so like I like what you're doing with this because it really opens up the conversation of like certain I don't want to say like taboo, but like sometimes it feels like taboo when you're talking about mental health and like I don't
Yeah,
know, it's
no, I get what you're saying because it's almost like a reverse stigma with, especially with mental health, because it's something that was taboo for a very long time, but now everybody is is very like pro mental health. It seems like, I mean, there's still
mhm.
people like that, but there's very outspoken folks who deal with mental health issues, and it's definitely out there. But a lot of times, I feel like it's talked about in like the wrong ways. And something that I before I forget, I wanted to like backtrack to real quick, not to change the point of it, that when you were talking about I forget how you said it, but basically what I was thinking was I kind of want to do something reverse social media type deal. Because I feel like on social
Mm-hmm.
media, this is something that I've like everything that I've been listening to, like podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff like that. It definitely points out the fact that social media, like nobody posts really you don't see people posting their bad days on social media. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely does happen with,
Even
you know
on
what I
their
mean?
bad days, they'll be like, "Oh my god!" They'll take like a picture like with some sunlight on them, and like,
Right. And I definitely think that long term, especially for us, I really think besides the younger kids below us, we were really the first, generation to have the phones in our hands at, the
mm-hmm.
like the ages of like some of us seventh,
We
eighth,
grew up with
ninth.
the
Yeah.
technology. Like they,
And
like the kids born now, they're just like they're born into it.
and we're used to everybody posting, you follow your favorite musicians and you
Mm-hmm.
follow your favorite athletes and you see everybody posting like the watches and the chains and the Jordans and the shoes and the nice cars and everybody's flossing it, and you're constantly so caught up in the fact that like I'm trying to be like them, that you, not saying you can't live your own life, but sometimes it's hard, and
Because you want to
I
fit that mold.
exactly, and that's something that I kind of wanted to pick your brain on. Like, do you have any input on that situation? Do you think that's real? Do you think that social media does cause these anxieties
Oh
and
yeah, for sure. The
unhappiness in a lot of the youth?
social media in itself is it's like literally its own world. We were just having a conversation about this last night. Um, all that social media needs is like a well, they already kind of have it with like VR chat, but like social media literally needs just like a place for people to like tap into on some like futuristic like gamer type thing where like you put like a helmet on and then you're like in social media. Like that's literally the only thing that's stopping it from being its own like world. Like people get so caught up in it and like
I think it's
even when
really easy to get caught up in it on
oh
top of
yeah,
that.
for sure. So like just recently how Instagram had taken away just like the how you could see how many likes a post got, people lost their minds. Literally lost their fucking minds and they reverted it back. So now people can see their likes. I don't know if it's like that still or not, but I know for a fact I can still see likes now. I think they reverted it. But people are so caught up in like, all right, I gotta have these likes. If I don't have these likes, I don't matter. Or like people like you see it on Twitter a lot too. Like you'll comment something and like, oh look at this guy. He has like and I don't have like 10 followers on there, but like somebody had like 10 followers saying something on there and they're like, oh, this guy's opinion matters. He has like 10 followers. Who the fuck is this guy? It's like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing. Like people get so caught up into it where like they think their social media persona really means something when it really doesn't.
And that's
And
something,
like,
the persona thing you're talking about is you meet people and they're completely different. Like a lot of times, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but at least for myself and for a lot of people I know, some of my friends and some of the people that I've grown up with, I didn't really meet. You know what I mean? I've only met their social media through
mm-hmm,
scrolling and all that shit, the shit they share, the shit they post. And a lot of times you meet people and they're completely different. Like
yep.
their morals are different. It's like,
Like they might seem like super outgoing online and then in person they don't even talk.
well, shy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean?
They
Um,
Mikey in the corner. They might go in
um,
the corner.
it's definitely like just so crazy to think about, and even the likes thing that you were talking about, the people who only get whatever likes and they feel bad about it. But on the flip side, man, you got these people who like are haters and they'll
Mm-hmm.
post the most wild, like wish death, all that kind of shit
Mm-hmm.
on people, and they put it out there to the universe that's like, yo, hundreds of thousands of people can see this. Especially all it takes is one person with a little bit of following to get a retweet, and that hate's just fucking
Yep, it's
shoo.
out there.
And it might not seem like a lot because some people can shake it off. Some people are just like, yo, it doesn't, it's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking tweet, doesn't matter to me. But some people that can really fuck up. Like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. It's like there was I had seen a story. It was about some streamer. He was I forget I don't know what game he was streaming, but like his whole chat was literally telling him to kill himself. Like the whole chat was saying like they had like the chat on screen and he like broke down and started crying and he was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just kill myself then. And he fucking cut the stream and killed himself. And it's like people don't realize like what you say to somebody can really affect them because they could be having the worst day of their fucking life and they just want to get online and have some fun and then you got a bunch of people just like messing with them and like or even just being out and about like you be at the grocery store and like say something wrong to somebody, and that person could just be having like the most shit day, and then
Snap.
just yeah, fucking
It's definitely weird to think this is kind of like a, not that it's a different thought, but it's like not the same as internet. Thinking about growing up in like Xbox 360 days, and
oh
bro,
yeah,
you used to join these lobbies and
roast
shit.
sessions, pure roast sessions.
And it's definitely weird to think about because, you know, especially with like growing up, I mean, we didn't run in the same exact circle, but we definitely like grew up around each other enough
Oh
to the
yeah,
fact that it's like you got to understand, like, you know, we talk shit, and it's definitely one thing to have thick skin when you're around people that you fuck with, but getting hate from people that you don't know,
don't know. Yeah, that's
that's
the
that's the fucking the big thing that I think messes with a lot of people, you know.
oh yeah for sure.
Um, Something else. I mean, this is going to be a little change of pace, but I want to talk about another question. What if you could have any superpower, any superpower in the world? What superpower would it be, and why? Also, would you use it for good or would you use it for bad?
All right. I would have to say teleportation, just because like you can literally do anything. Like in the sense of too, like being able to teleport, you could fuck around and go to like a whole different planet if it's habitable. Like that'd be dope. Like go somewhere like if they say, you know, like scientists say like, oh, this planet here can be like a place for us to live if we can travel there. I'm like, oh, I'm out. You know, like, I'm out. And like I kind of look at movies like what was it, Jumper?
Jumper, yeah,
Where
yeah,
Bull
yeah.
was just
Robin
robbing
Banks and
banks and
shit.
shit. Yo, like, but then again, they could go against where like I don't. I feel like I wouldn't do bad with that power, but it'd be very tempting. It'd be very fucking tempting. But like for me, I would want it just to be able to see everything the world has to offer. Like I always look at people kind of like and another person that you could learn a lot from with like mental health. Who was the chef? Bourdain.
Oh,
Is
Anthony
he?
Bourdain or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
Bourdain. Yeah, he traveled the world, met so many different kinds of people, ate so many different kinds of food, and like being able to do stuff like that, like a normal person can't. You don't have the money, you don't have the time. You can't just travel the world everywhere and just do whatever. But like being able to teleport, shit, go wherever you want. And like that's one thing I would love to do is just be able to see like the whole world.
I like the spin on there that you talked about because I think experience, exposure to different types of people, different walks of life, I think that is definitely very humbling, and can change a lot of people's perspective. A lot of times I think we feel trapped. You know what I mean? Like you
Oh
go
yeah.
to work every day and you come home to the apartment or your house or whatever you're doing. And a lot of times you get in these weird routines and funks and you think like, yo, this is all that there is to life. But there is a, you know, a lot more out there. There's a lot of places to travel. There's a lot of people in the world. There's more than just your little clique and your little circle in
Mm-hmm.
life. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't even think about that. Like you said, you could teleport anywhere. Like, you're like, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm about to just go link up with
Mm-hmm.
my my group in Dubai. I'm about to go link
Yeah,
up with my
like
group in
if
Argentina.
and it could be even for like how you're feeling too. Like if you would just want to be alone, you go to like some crazy mountain range and just look over the world. Or like if you're if you're feeling like down, you just like go to a beach somewhere and like try to like liven it up or whatever. It's like there's so many different possibilities with with being able to teleport. Like you just do whatever you want, man. Like if you're feeling a certain emotion, like if you want to see certain places, like you could literally go anywhere. And I feel like
Yes,
that'd be like the most fun thing to do. Because like, you could say like, "Oh, I can fly," but I mean, you gotta fly all the way the fuck over somewhere,
I
man. Fuck around,
was
get
thinking
bugs
along
all in your
lines.
mouth and shit.
For me, it was like, yeah, just like a whole grill full of like
Yeah.
flies and beetles and shit. I was always like, something that intrigued me was invisibility. I was like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
imagine being able, I mean, granted, you could do that with you could teleport into a room, but you probably have to like hide in the trash
Mm-hmm.
can or some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I thought like being able to be invisible and like not just invisible, but also like transparent to the, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, all that type of shit. Like nobody can even touch you, they go their
Yeah,
hand
touch
would
you.
go
You're like
through.
in a whole nother dimension.
I thought that'd be just too cool of a ability, just like pop up somewhere and just eavesdrop with motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. How these motherfuckers really feel about me? Hold up.
Let me pop in there real quick. I something that was another thing I wanted to touch on and pick your brain on was the effects of like quarantine on not just like you, but I think I can't remember a time besides what it was like and I can't remember because I wasn't there, but I think the last time something like this happened was what like the Spanish flu or whatever the hell it was that everybody was like locked
Like
down
shut
and had to
everything
wear
down.
masks and shit.
Yeah, I think it's the only other time.
I hear a lot of people saying that their life didn't change from the quarantine. You know what I mean? They were just stayed
Mm-hmm.
in the same routine that they did. And I know for a lot of people that it like completely took them out of their element. Do you think that that is going to have any effects on us as a like? Because it was basically everybody that really locked.
Mm-hmm.
There's
For the
all
most part,
different.
everybody was
Yeah.
locked down. Um, I would say it's almost like a 50-50 because it's like most people don't give a shit, but most people at the same point like really do care about the whole situation and like how it might affect them. And like I feel a lot of people learn more about themselves this past year than they have their whole life because they've been just able to sit back and like just really think about stuff. It's almost like how you would look at prisoners in prison. Like they literally just have one cell to be in, and all they're doing is just sitting there either thinking, reading, exercising, or what the fuck we've been doing this whole year. Like, well, I ain't been exercising, but you know what I'm saying? Uh, but like people really had this time this whole year to really reflect on everything. And like I've seen a bunch of people have it like affect them like badly. Like a lot of people I've seen go through like a bunch of different emotions, like being sad, being suicidal. Like I can only imagine like how some people are affected by it because some people like to be out and be around people so they can basically sweep those emotions under the rug, and they haven't been able to do that, so they've been having to face that. And I think
Facing yourself.
maybe, yeah, maybe people this past year have learned how to, I guess, fight those type of emotions since they've had no other way to like do it with other people. So like they've had to really learn and either A, get help, or B, find ways to basically like calm those type of things like meditation or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they've had to find their own way with like dealing with it. And I don't know. I think going forward, it's definitely going to affect some people. Like my anxieties are still high, so like going out, like I still don't want to go nowhere. Like my brother wants to go watch the new Godzilla in theaters, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's safe enough to go out yet, man. But like, it's just it's one of those things that like I don't know. I think this will affect us for a long time. I don't think this is going to be something that just goes away.
Well, that's oh my whole thing went out of focus. My bad. Hold on. We here? We here. Okay. Something that I was thinking about was a lot of times people follow what others say to no end. Some people call them a sheep, all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to get
Mm-hmm.
into any of that,
Oh
but
yeah.
a lot of times um when situations like this happen, like in the not saying exactly like this like quarantine, but you say like 9/11 and like all
Mm-hmm.
these big moments, people will follow whatever the guidelines or whatever they say. And I feel like there's a pretty good chance that some people might not want to go back to the, you know what I mean, like are scared. It's not everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
they'll be scared for the rest of their life. The fact that especially some older folks and things like that, they might like I that could change their life. You
Yeah,
know,
they're not gonna want to shake people's hands, get close. Like they'll look at people wrong if they're like in line. People are too close. Like
because it kind of
it's
plants a
definitely
seed.
gonna. Hmm. It's definitely because like even now, like whenever somebody goes to like put their hand out to shake my hand, because like I've been around a few people like recently, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, and then you just do like the fist bump or like bump elbow or something. It's just like it's always gonna be like a second thought now. Like damn, what's the next thing that could pop up, like a new damn virus or something? You know what I'm saying? Like you never know when something like that could hit, and like that's just because like the closest we've gotten to something like this was the swine flu, and like that wasn't as bad. I remember a kid had it in the middle school, and like everybody started losing their shit. Like, yo, it's fucking here. Like we're all about to get it.
He got the pig
And like
flu. He got
I
the
was like,
pig
yo,
flu.
yo, I literally I didn't go to school for like a week. I was like, yo, I'm not going. Like whatever. But like I think that's the closest we've gotten to it. But it wasn't as bad back then. And I think that was because of how it was handled. Like it got handled with quickly. With this shit, it was just run rampant. This shit just took over. I don't think we'll have something like this again for like just how they say it's like almost like a century type thing. Like every 100 years, something like this happens. So I don't think we'll have to deal with something like this for a while. But it's still scary to think about.
I'm that's the kind of the reason I ask, because I feel like this is one of those moments where it's like, I mean, I don't think it's going to carry on until like the end of uh humans, because
Oh yeah,
I mean
no,
that
no.
could be, but it's definitely something that's going to leave its mark for the next like 10,
Oh
20,
yeah, for sure.
30 years, and that's all some people have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some especially for older people, some going to the grocery stores and all that shit, they might be all bugged out for the rest of their time
Hmm.
on this earth.
Yep.
And it's definitely weird to think about that we were in that like we were in a life event.
This shit gonna
That's
be in the
gonna be
history
in
books, man.
textbooks. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like we lived through a history book moment.
They're gonna have the we're gonna be in the pictures in the damn textbooks. Like, oh, my boy Zach in the textbook, dog.
We've had a bunch of those moments recently. Like I feel like the
Hmm.
last year and a half, 2 years have been like, yeah, this shit
Mayhem.
gonna
Pure mayhem, man.
madness.
Madness.
uh do you it's so crazy to think about though, like one day if I end up having kids or some shit like that, they're gonna like go to history school, and they're like history school, they're gonna go to school in the history class. I said fucking history school. And they're gonna open the textbook and there's gonna be a chapter about this probably, and they're gonna get to come home and be like, oh my god, what
Hmm.
did you do? Everybody had to wear masks. Oh
That's
my
when that's
god.
when you like tell them like some gritty ass story that never even happened.
Yeah, I had to trash some people at the store. They was trying to take my toilet paper. You know what I mean?
This is how like
Last
our
roll.
our elders like I had to walk 5 miles to school barefoot in the snow. We're gonna be like, yo, I had to fist fight 30 people for a roll of toilet paper, man.
Toilet paper. Toilet paper. This is more valuable than gold. You know
Because
what I
me and
mean?
Zach, were together when the pandemic literally first hit. Like when, and it just popped up in my memories too. Like we went to, because like I stayed over his house for a few days, and Zach was, yo, we got to go get some groceries and shit. Go real quick. Yo, we went. The whole grocery store was just packed, just completely packed. It was mayhem. Like people were everywhere grabbing up all the toilet paper, all the food, all the
Parts
drinks.
of the aisles were like the water bottles and shit, where it was just like
Hmm.
nothing. It's
Yeah,
like, yo, what
nothing.
the fuck is
Because
happening?
when we had went to get toilet paper, the chick was there, and I was like, "Yeah, we were here yesterday. We should just grab some." And she was like, "You should have, because there's nothing here now." And man, just thinking of where like it. Hold on, keep getting phone calls.
You're good, bro.
Let me put on Do Not Disturb real quick. Or I can't. Let me get back. All right, but thinking of where like the pandemic started, and then like had like as it went forward, it's just crazy to think about. It's already been a year. Like
A full year,
so
man.
crazy.
A full year, and honestly, like obviously when you're in situations and shit like that, I'm not gonna say you like lose track of time, but it's more like everything kind
It
of
becomes a
lumps
blur.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a blur.
So I actually I had COVID, and I had to do like a whole lockdown from work and shit. And I was in a house for a month, like months straight inside my house. And honestly, I can't remember a single thing that I did for that month. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just in that I felt like I was going nuts, just like pacing around the house. I mean, obviously I played some games and that kind of stuff. I luckily didn't have any like terrible like shortness of breath, and it was more just I had like a really bad sore throat. So I was able to still do things, and I lost my sense of smell and all that kind of stuff. But even like the possible exposures and shit, that was super wild because if you had a possible exposure, so say you went to like your family's house or your I don't know, your grandma had people over for like hot dogs and hamburgers or some shit, and somebody in your family was like, "Yo, my daughter was at school and there was a whatever." You had to report that shit to your work,
Yep.
and then you had to not go to work for however long it took to get the testing back. And when I think when it first started, like some people weren't getting their test backs for like a week and a
Yep.
half, and you know what I mean, you're just out of work, and like for some people, they need that check. You know what I mean?
For sure, man.
It's definitely just such a wild situation to live through, man. And I guess that was just life for a little bit.
Yeah, it's literally life, man. And to this point, it's still like crazy to think about because the fight card for I think next month, they're doing in Florida, and it's all the fans is going to be a sold out arena. Just to think, like, I still don't think that's safe, especially in Florida where like people just haven't been giving shit this whole
Yeah,
time.
Florida's
Like,
Wild West, apparently.
and they don't care.
I mean, it's like the Texas. I think Texas just lifted the mask mandate because they were just like, yo, we don't want to be the ones to tell you do what you want, wear it, don't wear it, that kind of deal. And like I definitely think that's like the right choice of like letting people like you shouldn't be able to tell somebody like, yo, this is the way that you have to live your life. And I understand that like everybody has to make their own decisions, and everybody should make the right decision. But the fact that people can tell you what you can and can't do is kind of what gets everybody like, you can't infringe upon these rights, baby. Like I understand like both sides of it, but I guess eventually everything is going to need to trickle its way back into the normal shit. And I'm definitely not looking. I'm looking forward to not having to fucking wear a mask when I'm working all day and shit like that eventually.
Sweating bricks and then having to fucking breathe through a mask. And
sorry, we had a little camera malfunction. But what do you think happens post life? So some people believe in like reincarnation. Some people believe like very like religious aspects of like when you die you go to heaven. There's the more like spiritual vibes of all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to get your spin on what we are. Is it bigger than just flesh and bones, and what happens after you're in the ground?
All right, so I have like a few things I believe in, and it's not just like one cohesive thing. Like I think there's like multiple possibilities. So like
lay them on me.
I think in a sense there is a spirit world. I believe it's almost kind of like energy where like because I believe in like the multiverse. So like there's countless like versions of ourself out there, just in different timelines, I guess you could say. And I think that like when we die, either that like the person we are either vanishes or we pass to like our energy passes to like another like slice in that multiverse. And sometimes like when you have like ghosts or whatever, I think it's just people that couldn't make it past that I wouldn't say like a force field, but like they couldn't get past that layer into like the next multiverse or whatever. But I think it's like, but then again, I do think like when we die, nothing happens. So I think it's just like it's a possibility that like it could just be nothing, or it could be we go to a different time or whatever, like a different space. Um, it's just a weird thing to think about because like no one knows like the truth about it. No one can say they know. Even people that say like, "Oh, I had a near death experience and I saw a light and I spoke to God or whatever," that could literally be anything. That could be you, because they say when you die, the DMT comes out of your pineal gland, and that could be just you tripping balls, and you're
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You're hallucinating. But then again, that could be like they say it's the spirit molecule. Like maybe that's what pushes you into the next realm or whatever. Like it's just it's just a crazy thing to talk about because like there's so many different possibilities of what could be. Like there could be a heaven and hell. For all we know, there could be reincarnation. We could come back as a damn lizard or a turtle. We don't know. We just really don't know. But like in my belief, I think it's more so just like an energy type of thing. Like our energy will be passed on to our other self in a different place, in a different time. But don't get me wrong, your boy believe in them ghosts. Your
No,
boy definitely believe in
obviously
them
I do
ghosts.
too. My man's be bringing some close encounters near me. Made me a stone cold believer in some paranormal activity. But I something I wanted to like touch back on that you said. Well, you're talking about like energy and shit, and I always think it's like weird, and like some people think like you say this to people, and they're just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But I
Mhm.
definitely think I don't like you said, there's infinite possibilities. Like we don't know 100% either way. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different belief when it comes to shit. It's like all opinions, but it's definitely weird how I feel like uh energy can like push off of people because I think like everything's technically like vibrating, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I guess it's like on a atomic level, like everything comes down to shit vibrating
Hmm.
and giving off some kind of energy. And I think it's just so strange that we have the ability to like pick up or not everybody, but me, I have the ability to like not like read rooms, but like if some shit doesn't feel right or if some people don't feel right, it's just like I just for some reason my gut instinct is just like, yo, I don't want anything to do with this person. I don't want
Hmm.
anything to do with this situation.
Because you're a
And
Cancer too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just how we are. It's like because I used to always think like, oh, that zodiac stuff is bullshit, but like, hey man, some of that should be lining up, man. And like one of the things for us is like we're really like our intuition's crazy, and like I believe like in the same shit like with the energy because it's like I can sense the same shit about people. Like I can sense if someone don't fuck with me. I can sense when someone's lying. I can sense when like I was telling you earlier with the like when you're like it's easy to hide your emotions. I can tell when somebody's hiding their emotions, like when they're trying to mask it or something. So like the vibrations are real and very crazy because like I've been able to like really like hone. I don't want to say like the skill of it, but like it's kind of like a skill damn near. And like I can sense like even just by like touching someone, like touching their hand or something, I can like feel their emotions. Like if I look into the eyes, I can see through. I feel like I can see through the whole damn person when I look in their eyes. And like I think that's also dealing with the spirituality of shit, like almost like a kind of like when you're like watching like animes and shit, and they got like their auras or whatever. That's
I'm
literally
reading his aura.
yeah,
His
that's
spirit level
literally
is 9,000.
pretty much.
And it's always something that just kind of like made me feel like super uncomfortable because and also like what made me think about it on the flip side is like maybe it's just my anxiety getting the best of me in certain situations. Like maybe the gut instinct that I feel is really just me being incredibly anxious and like wanting to just like tuck out of situations. But then at other times it's like it comes back to be true. Like some of the shit that I like, I something is not right here, like the gut instinct and all that kind of stuff. It comes back to be like, I was right about this the entire time, and
Hmm.
I felt so strongly about it. And people always talk about our senses and shit like that, and, touch, taste, smell, all that kind of stuff. And what if there's like a more
A sixth
primal,
sense.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like and it's something that can never be proven, or something that if it's never not like happen to somebody, but I feel like maybe everybody has gut instincts, but
Hmm.
the energy thing that I'm talking about, I just feel like it's like you really don't know unless you've like had it happen. You're like,
Hmm.
oh, something's not right about that.
Hey, you feel that shit, man? Definitely hits you because like there's been times where like when I was a young boy, I used to get in a lot of shit, bad shit, and there were times where like I would tell my friends like this. I can think of one time exactly. I'm not gonna say names or anything or what happened, but we were. It was like early in the morning. He was gonna go do something, and I told him, I was like, bro, because like I got like that nasty feeling. I was like, bro, get on this bus with me, come to school, and just forget about that shit. And he's like, no, 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 I'll see you after school, whatever, or I'll just ride up like when I'm done. I'm like, all right, man. I was like, I really want you to get on this fucking bus right now. Like, I just do not feel good about this shit. And he went and did it and got arrested. And it's like those things, like it's kind of hard to tell people like what that feeling feels like, but when you feel it, you know, like something is either good or bad, or like, you know, like you just know it, like. And then that's that instance, I knew like, yo, this does not feel good at all. And I tried to tell him, I was like, you can't tell somebody like to trust that feeling because they're not feeling what you're feeling. So it's a weird thing.
It's something that I like. The reason I want to talk about it so much is because it's something that's stuck with me since I was younger. Um, like shit that I'm sitting there and I'm with a group of people or something like that. And I'm not saying it's peer pressure because it's like, yo, I'm the one that's fucking doing it. But there's been so many times where like I was about to get into some dumb shit and I knew I'm like, yo, leaving the house, I'm like, something's gonna happen. Some shit's gonna, you know what I mean? Something's gonna go down. And then I find myself in that situation where I'm like, okay, I can either say yes to this or no to this. And then I end up being like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then I do it. And I'm like, God damn it. I knew this was not gonna work out. And and then as I got older, I found out like I just need to listen to that more often. And it I still find myself doing stupid things when I know for a fact that I end up all goofed off of it. But it's definitely something that, like you said, I feel like most people who don't listen to their gut instincts and feel that shit can't relate to.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like people, they're just I don't say like bullheaded, but like they just they see a line and they just go. They don't give a shit.
So something that everybody that gave me feedback on the podcast really liked from the first episode and wanted me to continue with was like another question. I was curious, what was the best advice? Or maybe, I mean, I'll even spin it because maybe some people can't give me a specific advice, a life lesson or something that you still carry with you that happened to you that you always, look back on situations and be like, I'm going to always take this advice or take this life lesson.
I can't like, and it's just basically what I was talking about earlier. I can't really put a finger on who said it because it could be from literally a movie, a TV show, or a person could have said it to me. But like how I was saying earlier, with like tomorrow's a new day. It's like that can be for so many different things. Like say you have a business and you have a shit day and like you're not getting any money. Next day, like, all right, well, I can look forward to tomorrow. Maybe I'll get some more customers. Or if you're having a bad day and you're just thinking like, damn, this day is never gonna end. But then like you just gotta look forward to like, all right, this day will end and tomorrow will be better. So like my best advice would be just to hold on until the next day because you never know what it could bring. It could be something amazing. It could be the best day of your life. Tomorrow could be the best day of your life. And that's just something that really sticks with me because it's like there's times where it's just like you kind of feel hopeless or like there's times where um it's like you feel like nothing can go right. But like I always have that in the back of my mind, like, all right, tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. Just keep thinking about fucking tomorrow because like that's really like all you can look forward to in those times. Um, because I guess it could be advice, but it's like or just like something was like, hmm.
No, because I really do get what you're saying. My girlfriend's mom was over yesterday and we were having a conversation and I basically just kind of talked to her about some shit that was like popping off in my head just at the moment. And something that she told me was like, the universe is going to like catch you more or less. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
everything that's happened to this point, you've been okay to a certain extent. And everything that's going to happen after this is going to happen regardless, like one way or the other. And it's like no matter what happens, like you really don't. I mean, you have control over like your path and stuff like that, but shit happens, and you gotta learn to really roll with the punches, and like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like the universe is going to catch you.
Pretty much. That's why, like, I can say, like, growing up, I was on like both sides of the coin of like I was bullied, and then I became the bully, and then um I kind of like once I hit like high school, I kind of like grew out of that shit and just like I tried to be a better person, and like ever since then I always like tried to think about like, all right, I need to put good energy out there because any bad energy I put out there is just gonna come back to me bad. So like I've been trying to stay as positive as possible, and like that's another one of those things is just looking for tomorrow. Like maybe that good energy comes back, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but
No, no, I get exactly what you're saying, and I actually appreciate you touching on some of the shit you talking about. Like you made mistakes and turned
mhm.
out like you realized what you were doing was wrong, and put your energy back into it. Um, but I definitely appreciate you for even like hopping on this with me and doing this. Um, uh, do you have any of your stickers near you?
I do. Hold on.
So my boy Cheeto, he's a streamer, streams all kinds of like video games and stuff like that. And I'm like just so thankful for the fact that people coming on and really letting me kind of like pick their brain and be truthful with me. He's a video game streamer. He streams all kinds of games. I'm gonna leave the links to his channel and Instagram and all that stuff below. And you want to show him some of your stickers and stuff?
All right, so I have a few, and there's a few more in the works right now. I have a hoodie being made literally right now. We already got the design to the dude. This was the first one we had made. It's the kind of hard to get it, but it's
That's
like a
fire.
tombstone, but it's like a holographic. Most of these are holographic, but a lot of it's themed for Akira, the movie. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. A lot of it's themed from it, like the teddy bear has like the milk coming off of like its body. Um, but we have like the first drop is definitely going to be Akira themed, but then like I have a few ideas going forward that I'm gonna have like designed up. Um, and this is one. It's Michelangelo's zombie hand with a zombie
Yeah,
pizza.
that shit's
That's
fire.
one of my favorite ones. That sounds dope. And then I got these just for like if you order something, I'll throw in like these for free. It's like a Tetsuothezombie like creep font. But yeah, I have those, and like I said, I have a few more designed, ready to go, and I got this hoodie ready to go. Gotta start dropping them.
But I appreciate you so much, bro, for like hopping on and like just having a conversation with me. Make sure you check out my boy when he's streaming. If you're into like video game streams and all that kind of shit, he's so funny, and it's great content. I'll leave all the links below. But my man Burrito, we did it. This is episode two
Episode
of the
two. Mm-hmm.
episode 2 of the podcast down. I'll see you guys next time.
You guys cracking in front of me.
Well, bro, we don't. How do you even move it? How do you move the boat?
I know how to move it. Oh, never mind. The Kraken suck us out of the water.
Bro,
Shoot him in the mouth. Shoot the Kraken in the mouth.
bro, I got a blunderbuss.
Bro, like fuck. I don't have no bullets. There, I stopped him. I stopped him. All right, here I'll drive.
It's coming back.
Get off the oars. I'll do it. All right, go. No, you need to sit on the other side. All right. Go, nigga. Going the wrong way. He's looking right at us. It's sucking us in. No.
Oh, yo.
Help me.
Yo, I'm out.
Yo, cheat, roll the boat. Somebody roll the fucking boat.
Nah, nigga, I'm out, bro.
Oh, you threw me
I'm
underwater.
out.
I saw that.
Yo, you trying to
Yo.
drown underwater, bro.
Yo. Oh my god.
Oh, I got out of his mouth. Yo, there's more loot and shit in the water here.
Fuck that little Charlie. I wanna go.
Yo.
Me?
Fuck that.
Her. Alright.